All right, all you Mouseketeers, let's talk about it. I know my hair is something else. I was just taking it out. I had it all wrapped up. All right, so let's talk about why you're single. Now, I'm doing this video just because I felt like it. I see a lot of this type of talk going on because the Kevin Samuels wave, uh, which actually started before him, but it's really kicked off. And I know I have a good mixture of subs that sometimes don't see my live. They come back later and then they comment. So I just wanted to give my opinion on, singleness because, well, I'm single. Now, meet myself, one reason why I'm single is because I do not go out looking for women. I don't go to clubs. I'm taking my hair out, by the way. I don't go to clubs. I don't go to bars. When I do go out, a lot of times I don't say nothing to women. I might pass a compliment and I keep going. You know, I might see a nice body and say, hey, you look great. You have nice hair. And I keep on going. Eh, also, because I'm kind of exhausted when it comes to keeping up with women and their stories. Women have a lot of stories they want you to digest before you can actually get to the real truth. If they're not lies, they're just stories. It's the long way around the truth. It's like, do you have a dog? Well, is a yes or no question. Well, I was looking, when I was 12, it's like, do you or do you not have a dog? You go like, when I was 12, my mom had a Shih Tzu, and then I graduated, and, it's an hour later, you still don't know, and then, Mary died, and so now I do not have a dog. It's like, oh, they have stories. It's, can we get to the answer? And when you can't just, those are jets. When you can't get to the answer, a lot of times you women, you lose your guy. But we know you have a lot on your mind, and it doesn't mean women are smarter because they go the long way around things. So women are not smarter than men. So I don't want to hear that. We both have our purposes. I hate when women are smarter than men. You know you're not. You mature faster. But smarter than us? No, the hell you're not. And society proves that you're not. Okay? Uh, Case in point, there are less scientists in this world that are females than there are men, but there are more females in this world. Why? Because men go into science more than women do. I mean, that's just facts. There are more females, when you start looking at certain areas, women do not go into those fields, even though there are more women walking around the planet than there are men. They do not go into the sciences like men do. So cut it out with the women are smarter than us because they're not. Okay, we all have our purpose. Women aren't supposed to really be in the working field, if you ask me. I mean, if you're there, okay, I understand you don't have a man. But the truth is, I don't really believe that you should be out there in the working field. And a lot of you are starting to wake up to that. This whole women are, this and that, and competing with men is not really what I would call healthy for you. But you have to do it because you do not have a man. So, a lot of you are in that situation. Which brings me to my next thing. A lot of you don't have a partner because you left your partner. You thought because you were young and you were cute, and there are a lot of people who wanted you. This goes for guys and girls. There are a lot of people, especially women, though. A lot of people who wanted you, you thought that you would be young and hot forever. Listen, very few people hit their 40s and they're still just banging hot, and most of those are guys. And a lot of women hit their 40s, and it's the wall. The wall, it creeps up on you around 30 something. You do have some nice 50, 60 looking year old women, even in the 70s. I've seen some Shoot, I used to date a 63-year-old. She was no joke. She had a, sheesh, my goodness. Girl, I still miss her. I don't want to get with her, but the way she looked, how nice she was. But one argument, and there that went out the window. She was 63. She didn't take no lip. All right. So what I'm saying is, a lot of you people are single because of your arrogance. When you're young, you're hot, you got good knees and a good back, you think it's gonna last forever, and it doesn't. You know, when your breasts are, bing like that, and your butt is, looking just as tight. Well, all that goes downhill, especially once you start having kids. Even though in some cases, some women have kids and they get hippie. Oh my goodness. This is why some guys really don't mind the fact that you got a kid. Because you look different. It just, woo, it just hits different. When you got that. Sometimes I figure it comes because you got a kid. It just, oh, it hit different. It just like, man, I'm about to put another baby in. Oh my goodness gracious. So it's different, but when it comes to taking care of the kid, yeah, that's different right there. Sexually, you're more attractive, but financially, you're less attractive. But some guys can take on some children and that are not theirs, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a very honorable thing to do. And if they're good kids, I don't see a problem with it. But if those kids are hellions, but the mama's good, then you have to go because she's gonna put the kids first, and it's gonna be a bad deal for you, bro. It's just gonna be bad. It really is. Some guys are older like me. I mean, most of the women I'm gonna date, they're gonna have kids, and it just boils down to are they good kids or bad kids? Because I done seen both kids that won't listen to you and kids that just love you. I mean, they just adore you, and you're just like, this is not my child, but this little boy is just the coolest little boy in the world. I done just met some good kids, from little to teenagers. They were just. And this one woman, she had a very smart son. He was just a smart kid. As a matter of fact, I know a couple of them, and I watched her son grow up to. Well, he's in his 30s now. Me and him never had a problem. He just was always a good guy, So I wouldn't have had no problem being his, stepfather. But the mother, she thought that me being nice and being meek was a weakness, and eventually I got tired of it. And I was like, I'm not gonna keep having you question my manhood because I don't smoke weed. I don't drink, I don't have earrings and all this other stuff. So a lot of reasons why you people are single, and also it's another numbers game. Listen, ladies, you're in 14 to 1 in every major city pretty much. You're just outnumbered, and there's always a new model coming off rolling right off the good old society, block. It's just once she steps foot out of high school, it's fair game. And I know a lot of you older women don't like to hear that. Ooh, that's gross or whatever. Listen, we don't care what you think. We don't live by your standards. Because when you were 18 and you was that hot thing, you didn't want to hear what older people had to say. So we don't care what you have to say. You may think that it's gross, but it's nature. Okay? And, obey the laws of the land, 18 in every state, 16 and 17 in some other states. In Ohio, it's 16. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's happening, all right? There are some movie stars. The guy who was in the Green Mile, one of the guardsmen in the Green Mile, he married a 16-year-old. They got divorced, but he did. You have some superstars, basketball players, who had babies by teens. Moses Malone had a baby by a teen. Look it up. I'm just saying it's happening. So you don't like it, we don't care. It's happening. So yeah, but we're just gonna say 18 because that's the law of the land. And like I said, depends on what state that you're in. California, it's 18. Ohio, it's 16. So on and so forth. You get the point. These females mature faster than men. So some females will not play around with young boys. They will not play around with boys their age. They will see that an older gentleman has a car, has a place to stay, has resources, and women like the nest. So they'll be like, I'll take that deal. And a lot of older women hate it, but we don't care because we know how you were when you were young. Now, I don't do that, but nonetheless, I know that it's a thing. And some of you will try your best to shame the man, and then you'll try to say that the girl is being taken care of, taken advantage of. But you do the same thing if she's 25 and the guy is 45. This is a full-grown woman, 25 years old, college graduate. You older 40, 50, 60-year-old women will hate on that guy because he has a 25-year-old. Look at Leonardo DiCaprio. He waits until a woman gets so old, like 25 or 27, that he won't date her anymore. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of women, you are Brad Pitt got himself a young thing. Angelina Jolie, blah, 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 blah. We don't care. We don't care because you were hot and everybody wanted you and we see how you acted. We don't care. So a lot of you women are single just because there's just not enough men. Sorry, ladies, we didn't build it that way. There's not enough men. A lot of you ladies are single because you chose to be single. The divorce rate, when it comes to women, 80% of the time, you divorce your man. So this is a statistic. Go and look it up. This is not talking about anyone in particular. This is a statistic. Why aren't you with your man anymore? I divorced him. Why did you divorce him? And then you have your reasons. They could be legitimate or whatever. But nonetheless, 80% of the time, the woman will get tired of the man and will leave the man. So ladies, you're single because you left your husband. You're single because the guy who should have been your husband when you were 20, 22, 23, all the way up to 25, you left that guy because you had so many men trying to get in bed with you. So you left that good guy, and when you hit your 30s, then you realize that, you know what? I wonder if, Jake is still available. You look him up on Facebook, and, you send him a couple kites, and then, you find out that Jake is married with 3 kids. Right after you dumped him, somebody came along and was like, hey, Jake, what's up, guy? What do you want to do? He's like, hey, got this job down at the plant, blue collar. And she's like, yeah, my dad used to work there. He's like, really? Yeah, Thomas. Yeah, I know Tom. Yeah, Tom's a good guy. Next thing you know, Jake is married, builds his family, and has an extended family, and is doing great. And then Sarah tries to hit him up because she was madly in love with Sarah. Sarah tries to come back in his life, and he goes, oh, yeah, Sarah, I remember you. How you doing? Everything going great? Yo, this Lisa. Lisa is James, Kobe, and Derek is the whole family. And you're doing all right? Well, it's good to hear from you. God bless. We go to the church down on, up Cedar sometimes. You're single because of your mistakes, a lot of you. I'm out.